How's it going, Godzilla fans, kaiju fans, collectors, and just general people of YouTube? This is Chanzilla 1964 coming back with another figure review. Today we're going to be reviewing another figure from the Bandai MMS Series 2.0 line, that being the 2.0 version of Burning Godzilla over here. Yes, we have a bigger and better version of, well, not bigger, but definitely better version of Burning Godzilla, in my opinion, from the Bandai MMS Series line. It's better in all respects when it comes down to paint, detail, articulation is just about the same, size-wise. We'll get there, but it's just, I like the figure personally. I know some people weren't exactly thrilled about it on social media, but it is what it is. Everyone has their own viewpoints of it, I guess. You know, for me, I think this is definitely an upgrade. So let's get into the detail here. So detail, I mean, need I say more? Just look at that face. That is Burning Godzilla's face right there, and it is perfect, especially in respects to the Heisei Godzilla, which I feel Bandai's kind of muddled the faces in the past. Not with the recent figures for Heisei, but in the past the faces were kind of weird, wonky looking. But this is Heisei Godzilla, Burning Godzilla. I mean, yes, this is him, and the detail is amazing, from the sculpted chest, the arms, the legs. This is just Heisei Godzilla pretty much, just a little, honestly it's a little bigger, because he's a little wider and a little more weight and heft to him compared to the previous figure we got. I think that was the 93 version of Godzilla, the Heisei Godzilla, the one from Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla, that one, yeah. This guy is a little heftier in respect to this side here, and the shoulders are wider. The belly's a little bigger too, I want to say, yeah. So is the chest, and the face is definitely a little more different too, with that snarl, more of a snarl look to him. But yeah, the face for me is really the highlight for this Burning Godzilla figure. Really nice face detail. The only other difference detail, in my opinion, that's really noticeable is the spines. The spines here are definitely very different from the 93 Godzilla, in that the spines are definitely bigger, they've grown, and it translates very well on this figure, and they're drooping. So in the movie, one thing I remember from Burning Godzilla is that since he was so hot, his spines were continuously melting in the movie, and it translates very well on this figure, in my opinion. So yeah, detail is amazing. The real things that stick out for me for detail, again, are going to be Burning Godzilla's face and his spines. Yeah, paint is going to be rather quick. It's nothing too special. At the same time, there is quite a bit to be desired in terms of the paint department, but it's not something that I'm overly upset about, weirdly enough. Yeah, let's just get into it, because the paint for the eyes, honestly, I'm happy with them. Do I wish that it was a translation from orange to yellow? Or not really. I mean, it's not like it's needed. I think the translation for having Godzilla's, you know, the whites be red and then translates from the orange and the black, it looks nice. Like, I'm happy that there's this detail with Godzilla's orange eye. It turned out very nice, in my opinion. The mouth, the tongue is painted very nicely, the teeth are painted very nicely. There's not gonna be that gum deep paint, but honestly, I'm fine with it. Toned fingernails, painted, all of them. Toenails too, painted very nicely. Here's where it gets a little wonky. So I'm not upset about this. In fact, I'm happy that, you know, we got this paint and it turned out nice. They could have just slapped on orange and called it a day, but no, Bandai went a little extra step and they put in this nice yellow over here. I personally really like this paint choice. However, like I said, it makes me feel like I want a little more, especially for Burning Godzilla, in that while you can slap on orange paint on his chest for fire, or Burning Godzilla also has the cracks going up his neck and the flames on his shoulder pads. Like, if they put that on, this would have been the perfect Burning Godzilla figure. I would have forgiven everything else I'm about to talk about if they had the shoulder flames and the crack growing up his neck. Everything else would have been forgiven. This would have been a amazing Burning Godzilla figure if they put those two things, technically three things, but yeah, you get the point, because everything else from here on out just kind of is expected, but brings it down even more. So like, this is really a bummer for me. Yeah, I was expecting it, because as we got, you know, pictures of it, I was like, oh, it's not coming with it. But it's a Burning Godzilla, and it's got the perfect Burning Godzilla face, so I wanted it, and I got the good spines. Which, by the way, the spines, cool enough, are, let me just show you, they're translucent. Yeah, they're translucent orange, and yeah, those are one of the lightings I used. So they're translucent orange, and they got this charcoal kind of spray on, which is nice, and they have it on the inside of the spines too. So spine paint, I'm perfectly happy with the spine paints. I do wish that there is that white paint that they put on the Burning Godzillas of the past. However, I know Bandai skimped out on the white paint before with the previous Bandai Movie Monster series Burning Godzilla, so I wasn't expecting on this one, which, like I said, all would have been forgiven if Bandai just slapped on the fire paint here, here, and the cracks here and here. All would have been forgiven. Perfect Burning Godzilla figure. But they missed the opportunity, which it is what it is. I'm happy we have a Burning Godzilla figure that's now amazingly movie accurate in some respects. I'm going to paint it up a bit, but besides that paint, it's amazing. I really like this figure. Let's get on the articulation, which nothing special. We got the Heisei Godzilla articulation. 2 arms move, legs move, glue seal at the tail, but the tail doesn't move, and no glue seal at the head. So I'm fine with articulation. It is what's to be expected of a Bandai figure. It's cool. I like it. I love Bandai figures. That does it for articulation and paint. Sorry, I'm just breezing through this because I want to get to the 2 main things of the or the 2 main events, which is going to be scaling, because on top of Burning Godzilla, I also got the 2 Destroyer forms that came out recently too. So I'm gonna bring out the crab version. Right off the bat, this thing is too freaking big. It's cool. It's a 6-inch, you know, Crab Destroyer figure, which I don't mind because it's Crab Destroyer. I'm always happy with the Crab Destroyer, and it's a smaller 6-inch version. It's not the ridiculously big 8-inch, so I'm cool with it. It's not too bad. It's just too overly big, similar to the Soldier Legion, which I guess is, you know, I get it. Okay, but size-wise, overall, movie accuracy-wise, it's not movie accurate, but I'm happy with it because it works still in terms of playability-wise. Now, hopefully, fingers crossed, Bandai does come out with Godzilla Jr. so that the Godzilla Jr. will size up nicely with the Crab Destroyer. However, what I'm afraid of is that Godzilla Jr. is going to be too, like, as tall as his dad, which he shouldn't be. Like, I'd be happy if Godzilla Jr. was up to Godzilla's chest. That would be like a decent sizing. But if he's any bigger, it would look like as off as this, which I'm hoping it doesn't. Even though, like I said, this is fine. It's oversized. Here's kind of the bummer part where we have the perfect form of Destroyer. I didn't put it any closer to the camera than Godzilla. This is how fucking short he is. Yeah, he's a fucking short. I'm not unhappy about the sizing here, honestly. He's just short. I'm not unhappy about the sizing because it's Destroyer. They've made Destroyer short all the time, and honestly, we could just use this guy as like the poster version of Destroyer. If I'll show you it later. I'll put it in a thumbnail or something. But we could use this guy as the poster version of Godzilla, of Destroyer, for the Burning Godzilla versus Destroyer, or Godzilla versus Destroyer poster. Because he's that short, and this is a good figure, don't get me wrong, and you'll see in the review coming up next time we come back. I was gonna say next episode, but the next time we come back, you'll see this is a good figure. I'm really happy with this figure. It's just he's ridiculously short, and it's no fault of Godzilla, of Burning Godzilla, which is the sad part. it's all this guy's fault. So Bandai, make an 8-inch version of this guy, so he can be like, I don't know, either the same height or a little bit taller like this, and it'd be a good Destroyer figure, perfect Destroyer figure. Again, Bandai, missed up. You'll hear it in the Destroyer review. Get out of here, Destroyer. Yeah. Scaling, it is what it is. It's not Burning Godzilla's fault. It's really Destroyer's fault. Waiting to see what comes from Godzilla Jr. Bandai, hint hint, if we get a Godzilla Jr. anytime soon, I want to see what happens there. Hopefully we get a Godzilla Jr. soon, but we'll see, because we can't have Burning Godzilla without Godzilla Jr., if you know what I mean. It's Godzilla's son, and little Godzilla's cute and all, but it's a little Godzilla. He doesn't look as badass as Jr. He looks really cutesy and like a stuffed animal lizard thing. But anyways, that'll do it for scaling and size comparison, and that pretty much does it for the overall. Honestly, this is a really good figure. If you're really picky about the paint, I would recommend possibly getting a different Burning Godzilla figure. However, if you're looking for sculpt wise accuracy, you should get this guy. He's the perfect Burning Godzilla sculpt wise in all respects. Paint, there's quite a bit to be left desired, but it's not overly terrible. We have translucent spines too, so I mean, translucent spines. But with that being said, overall, like I said, really good figure. It's really just what you want out of this figure, or pretty much just say what you want out of this figure, because there's a bunch of other Burning Godzilla figures out there to pick from. There's that light up one that came out recently, which would have no problem paint wise because he's translucent and everything. Then there's the new one coming out with the Godzilla action line. The same ones, like how there's that weird looking Godzilla -1 with the messed up jaw. I think there's that and Destroyer coming out, and they look a little better in scale. Plus there's Steam effects, so if you're looking for articulation, you could get that one. For me personally, you all know me, I love Bandai soft vinyl figures, so that's why I'm going with this guy. Like I said, what you want out of the figure. What are you looking for out of the figure? That's really what it comes down to. But this will do it for today's video, you guys. If you guys liked today's video, do be sure to hit the thumbs up button down below. If you guys think I may have missed anything with Burning Godzilla, do be sure to let me know in the comment section down below. And if you guys like what you see on the channel, please hit the subscribe button. That'd be awesome. But this has been Chanzilla 1964 saying, till next time, guys, peace. Next review will be of Destroyer. Destroyer's 2 forms, so stay tuned. But peace.